What is going on, guys, and welcome to episode 21 of the Listen Whilst You Step podcast. Today we have another solo episode. It is just myself, and we are going to be covering a very, very important topic and probably the most asked questions that I get when it comes to your nutrition. Okay, today we're going to be covering everything that you need to know on how to set your nutrition up to get insane results. Okay, the reason that nutrition is so freaking important, before I kind of get into that, but I personally believe that your results come down to this kind of split. I genuinely think 80% of your results do come from your nutrition. Only about 20% of your results come from your training. Okay, it's that whole 80-20 principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Okay, so 80% of your results are going to come from you nailing your nutrition. Okay, and that's why today I'm going to give you all the ingredients that you need to bake up an awesome recipe of success. Okay, so before we kind of get into things, everybody massively overlooks their nutrition. They genuinely think that they can out train a poor diet. I hate to break it to you, but you cannot. I've definitely given it a good go in the past. God, those are bad times, and trust me, it just doesn't work. Okay, so if you want really, really freaking good results and you want to fast track it, you must be spot on with your nutrition. Okay, and I hate to break it to you, it's actually a lot more simple than people make it. Okay, this personally is where I believe that so many people go wrong in the fitness industry, is they try to make their nutrition, their training, way more complicated than it actually needs to be. Okay, so when we think about nutrition, there's like a nutritional pyramid. There's a hierarchy. There's things that are more important than others. And this is the whole reason that my aesthetic strength logo, the AS logo, is a triangle. Okay, because we're massive on making sure that we get the bottom of the pyramid nailed before we move on to the next bit. Because if you're always focusing on that top little bit, then you're not going to get the results you want. Let's get you nailing the basics really, really fucking well, getting you staying incredibly and ruthlessly consistent, because then we can start to look at those little 1%ers, those little things at the top of the pyramid, and you're going to get a hell of a lot more out of them. Okay, so right at the bottom of the pyramid, but well, not even at the bottom, the ground, it's your adherence and your consistency. Okay, because it does not matter how good your program is. If you do not stick to it and you are not consistent with it, then guess what? You will not see the results you want to. I hate to break it to you. Okay, so some of the things I'm going to talk about within this are going to kind of talk about how to stay consistent, because I think a lot of people actually know what to do when it comes to your nutrition, but actually sticking to it is another ball game. Okay, so now getting into things, the most important thing when it comes to nutrition in terms of anything that's not adherence or consistency is your calories. Calories are king. Okay, without your calories being aligned to your goals, nothing else matters. If your goals are, say, fat loss, and you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not eating less calories than you are burning, you might as well have a horse and cart and put the cart before the horse. It's just not going to fucking work. So it's very simple. The number one place that we have to start is we have to make sure that our calories, our energy balance is aligned with our goals. Okay, this comes down to Newton's third law of thermodynamics. I can never say that word. Okay, and the law is that energy cannot be created or destroyed. So if you give your body less energy than it needs, it has to get that extra energy from somewhere. So where does it turn to? It turns to your fat sources, because it cannot just create energy out of nowhere. Likewise, if you give your body more energy than it needs, you're into a calorie surplus, then your body has to do something with that excess of energy. What does it do? It stores it as body fat. Okay, so we have to make sure that our calories are aligned with our goals, because without this, literally nothing else matters. Okay, now, if you're looking to work out your calories, the simplest way that I can describe it is I want you to take your body weight in pounds. And if your goals are fat loss, we do your body weight in pounds times anywhere between 10 and 12. So if you're someone who's not very active, maybe only do 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day, you do your body weight in pounds times by 10. Someone who's moderately active, maybe do 8 to 12,000 steps a day, you do your body weight in pounds times by 11. If you're someone who's pretty damn active, maybe you do 10, 12, 13, 14, 15,000 steps a day and you work out a couple times a week, you do body weight in pounds times by 12. Okay, if your goals are maintenance, you'll do your body weight in pounds times 14 to 16. And if your goals is to gain lean muscle, I would do your body weight in pounds times 16 to 18. I'm going to try and keep this podcast more about the fat loss space, because that's what I know most of you guys are working towards. Me too at the moment. We are in a little mini cut. trying to get leaner for a couple of photo shoots and things like that. Going to be super cool, really cool year. Lots of new things dropping. Obviously, you've heard about the AR Shred Squad app, and there is going to be lots of cool stuff and content going into there, as well as lots of YouTube content coming soon. When I'm talking about this, I'm kind of lining some cool stuff up. Okay, but yeah, this is what we have to do. We have to make sure that our calories are aligned for our goals. Just a quick note on your calories. At the start of a fat loss phase, the goal is to eat as much as you possibly can and still see the result that you want. Let me say that again. The goal at the start of a fat loss phase is to eat as much as you possibly can and still see the result that you want. So many people go wrong because they start with their calories way too low, and then they just shoot themselves in the foot kind of long term, because eventually your body's going to adapt it and you're going to have to drop your calories. Okay. And if you start low, you then have to drop them so low that it becomes unrealistic and unsustainable. Okay. So the goal is to try and eat as much as we possibly can so that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot long term. Okay. Eat as much as we possibly can and still see the result that we want. What is the result that you want? The result that you want is you want to be trying to lose between about 0.5 and 1% of your body weight per week. Okay. So if you're 100 kilos, you'd be looking at losing, I'm going to sneeze. I apologize because that was probably so loud with the microphone. If you are 100 kilos, you're going to be looking to lose between 0.5 and 1 kilos per week. Okay. So that's the kind of rate of loss that we're going to be looking at. All right. So now that we have our calories nailed, remember, we always want to start on the higher end of things so we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. The next thing is going to be looking at your protein. Okay. Protein is important for literally a million different reasons: growth, recovery, hunger, satiation, hormone control, a million different things. Okay. So when we're trying to work out our protein, we want to do our body weight in pounds times 0.8 to 1.2. So if you were 200 pounds in body weight, then that would be in the middle of that. You'd be looking at 1 gram per pound. You'd be eating 200 grams of protein. Okay. Now, a couple of considerations to have when you are looking at your protein target. I would always give yourself your range. So work it out at 0.8 and work it out at 1.2. And as long as you fall within that range, you are doing absolutely awesome. Okay. Don't read into this too much. Yes, it's important, but remember, calories are king. Without calories being aligned, nothing else matters. So we're never going to go over our calories to make sure we get enough protein in. Okay. Something else you want to try and do within your protein is, number one, try your best to evenly distribute it throughout the day, kind of at least like 3 to 5 meals, 3 to 5 servings of protein. This way, we're going to optimize things as much as we can. It's also going to help you stay nice and full. Protein, out of our 3 macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, and fats, is the most satiating. It's the most filling. So if we have protein throughout the day, it can help us stay nice and consistent and nice and adherent. Because like we know, consistency and adherence underpins everything we're talking about right now. Okay. So as well as that, with our protein, we want to try our best to include as many different protein sources as we can. You want to get beef in there, chicken in there, turkey in there, eggs in there, chickpeas, lentils, Greek yogurt. Like, literally try and include as much as you possibly can. Some healthy fish sources if you like fish, salmon, tuna, all these different kind of things, mackerel. Okay. Try your best to, 1, hit between 0.8 and 1.2 grams per pound. 2, try and space it out fairly evenly throughout the day. And then 3, we want to try and include as many different protein sources as we possibly can. Okay. Now, moving into carbohydrates and fats, this is personally where I think so many people go wrong. Okay. They get way too caught up in the little details of how their carbs and fats distribute. And this makes little to no effect in terms of your results. Okay. So what we want to remember, concentrate on your calories, concentrate on your protein, and then how your carbs and fats distribute. Do not worry about it. Okay. Because we're going to talk about a couple of little things in a second that are going to help you make sure that they distribute in a pretty decent place. Okay. But don't get worried about it. Our willpower is like a muscle, and we only have so much willpower to give. So let's concentrate on the things that are going to get us results and get us moving to where we want to be. Okay. And those things are going to be nailing your calories, nailing your protein. Save that willpower for when you need it. Okay. Don't waste it. Now, a few little details now. That's the kind of bigger picture. We've got to nail our calories and try our best to get enough protein in. But a few little details within that is going to be, number 1, we need to make sure that we get our 5 a day. And your mum probably told you a million times when you were younger, but I hate to break it to you, it is so freaking simple. Just eat your 5 a day. Something like this can be so simple but so effective. It can help you stay more adherent to your diet. It can help you stay more consistent because it's going to help you stay nice and full. It's also going to help deliver loads of micronutrients, lots of vitamins, lots of minerals to help you stay nice, fit, and healthy, and also just feeling freaking good. Okay. So, really, really consciously think about trying to eat your 5 a day. And within that, trying to eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. Include as many different colors into your diet as you possibly can. The more colorful your plate is, the more vitamins and minerals you're going to be getting in, and you're going to be setting yourself up for awesome, awesome success. Okay. Your mum told you it, so freaking do it. Okay. Now, something we're going to talk about just very quickly, which is going to help with your adherence and giving you a little bit of guidance within your calorie goals, your protein goals. Okay. Because sometimes those things can seem a little bit daunting. Okay. Because sometimes someone goes, right, you got to eat 2,000 calories a day. And they go, oh my God, what do I do with it? You have so much flexibility. We want to give you a little bit of guidance within that. Okay. And I really believe in this, and it's a setting a custom meal structure. I genuinely think this is one of the most important things because it gives you guidance within the guidance. Okay, so let's take 2,000 calories a day. You're going to look at your diet and see, where am I most hungry throughout the day? What do I like? Do I like to eat 3 meals and 2 snacks? Do I like to just eat 4 meals? Okay, so let's take someone who likes to maybe eat 3 meals and 2 snacks. They normally get hungry in the afternoon and then after dinner. They're going to break their 2,000 calories up between those 3 meals and those 2 snacks. So they might go breakfast 500 calories, lunch 500 calories, dinner 500 calories. That's 1,500 calories. They've still got 500 calories left. They've got 2 snacks. They know they get hungry mid-afternoon and after dinner. So they're going to put a snack in mid-afternoon and after dinner of 250 calories each. Total, that's your 2,000 calories. Okay. Then you've got a kind of set structure within your meal plan to help you give yourself a little bit of guidance and accountability within each meal. Okay. Also, you can do exactly the same thing with your protein. You can go, I want roughly this much protein in each meal, so that you can try and distribute that throughout the week, because then it doesn't become as hard to get your protein in. Okay. One of the questions I get so often is, Simon, I'm struggling to get my protein. How do I get my protein up? Number one goal, plan your food before you eat it. If you plan it, you can then adjust it. If you just track on the fly, then guess what? You're probably going to make a mistake and you can't go backwards. If you track before you eat, you can see what's there. You can make any adjustments you need to. But my biggest advice when it comes to your protein is going to be prioritizing your meals around your protein sources. So breakfast, what's a protein source I could have? Eggs. What am I going to have with my eggs? Right. Lunch. What's a protein source that I can have with lunch? Chicken. What can I have with my chicken? A wrap, blah, 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 blah. Right. Snack. What's a protein source can I have? Grenade bar. Awesome. Sweet. Dinner. What's a protein source I could have? Salmon. Great. What are you going to have with your salmon? Right. Afternoon, like dessert. What's a protein source I could have? Greek yogurt. Awesome. What can I have with my Greek yogurt? So you always think about prioritizing your meals around your protein sources, and it will make getting your protein in a million times easier. As well as that, making sure that you track before you eat. It literally takes 2 minutes to sit down and work out a days of food. This way, you've taken the decision making out of it. You've made any adjustments you need to do. You can go into the next day with a fail-proof plan that you know exactly what you need to do and how you're going to execute it. Okay, rather than guessing along the way and hoping that you're going to hit your target. All right. Now, just last 3 things here, just very quickly. I wanted to keep this one short, sharp, and super informative for you all. Okay, 3 things. Number 1, the 80-20 rule. Okay. Now, when it comes to kind of sticking to your diet, so many people go super, super rigid and they go, I'm only going to eat chicken, veg, and rice. And then they wonder why they come off their diet, because it's fucking boring. And they wonder why they rebound and go back to square one, because they haven't learned how to still include the foods that they love. So we like all our clients to follow the 80-20 principle. The 80-20 principle is very simply that as long as 80% of your calories come from good, whole quality sources, potatoes, meat, fish, eggs, rice, all these different things, oats, I could go on, vegetables, fruits, okay? What you do with the other 20% of your calories, I literally do not care. If you want to do that in red wine, then I probably wouldn't recommend it, but a bit here and there isn't going to kill you. If you want to do it in chocolate, do it. If you want to do it in freaking ice cream, like I do, because I'm an absolute ice creamaholic, then you can do. But if we try our best to follow this 80-20 rule, then 1, it keeps your diet interesting, so you stick to it. 2, it teaches you how to include foods that you like, so you don't rebound and go back to square one. And then 3, it just makes it so much more enjoyable. No one wants to eat just fish on a rice cake, okay? Because you don't have to, okay? And learning how to be a bit flexible allows consistency, and consistency gets us results, okay? Last 2 things. One of the biggest and most important things, and I would genuinely put this one thing down to me being able to maintain the best physique that I ever have. But as well as this, literally like 95% of our client results last year, and it is utilizing weekly calorie targets rather than just daily. Okay, honestly, absolutely game changing. I wish I had learned about this earlier. These are freaking game changing. So take your daily calorie target, say 2,000 calories, 7 days a week. That's 14,000 calories for the week. Now, how you distribute those, it does not really matter because your body cannot count. Your body can't go, oh, you've eaten 2,100 calories, you're going to gain body fat. No, your body can't count. Okay. So let's say it's just life where we have days where we're hungry and days where we're not. So if you have a hungry day and you go 2,200 calories, most people will go, fuck it, and go to 4,000. Yes, that has fucked up all your hard work. But likewise, it's fine. You've just had a hungry day. But the next day, just think, maybe I just need to drop it back a bit. Okay. But likewise, if you're not hungry and your calorie goal is 2,000, you've eaten 1,800, why would you go and eat that extra 200 calories? As long as we're in the ballpark, because we don't want to go too low to shoot ourselves in the foot, remember? But just remember, you can have this little bit of flexibility and borrow and lend calories from day to day to fit into your lifestyle. Likewise, most people struggle and they slip up on the weekend. I know particularly a lot of my clientele do. I have before in the past. And this is because they use reactive nutrition. This is what I call it. Okay. So they hit their calorie goal throughout the week. Then Saturday comes, I have a few beers, a takeaway, bang, 5,000 calories. They've ruined their deficit for the week. Whereas if we can use proactive nutrition, we can go, right, I know I'm going out on the weekend. So look, let's be consciously just drop things throughout the week and go 1,800 Monday to Friday. That way I've saved up 1,000 calories on the calorie bank account. I can go and spend them on a Saturday. And as long as I nail my weekly calorie target, then I'm still going to make progress towards my goals. I've factored it into my lifestyle and I haven't become a robot or just eating fish and a rice cake. And then I don't feel guilty because I fucked up all my hard work and then kind of be down on myself. Okay. So genuinely using weekly calorie targets is absolutely fucking incredible. Okay. Just something to be very mindful of when using these, because we don't want to borrow and lend too many calories, because then we can let ourselves get too hungry and then we can be setting ourselves up to want to go and eat absolutely everything in sight. So I want you to imagine your hunger on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. 1 being I'm so fucking hungry, I could eat a horse. We've all been there. And 10 being I'm so full, I literally want to be sick. We've all been there after a couple of Dominoes, a few cookies, and maybe a pint or two. Okay. You want to try and keep yourself between like a 4 and a 6, a 3 and a 7, because that way, if we let ourselves get too low, we're probably shooting ourselves in the foot and we want to go and eat everything in sight. Likewise, if we get too high, you're probably overeating. So trying to keep ourselves in that middle area is going to massively help you. Okay. To give you some kind of anecdotal kind of numbers, I generally would not want you to borrow and lend like more than like 15% of your calories. Okay. So realistically, if you're on 2,000 calories a day, you don't want to borrow and lend more than 200 or 300 calories a day tops. Okay. If you're going to do that, you might have to borrow and lend over a couple of days for another day. Okay. And then last of all, the last point that I'm going to make, and then I'm going to kind of wrap it up, is going to be the most important. Okay. And this is the difference between people who get results and people who just stay the same. They spin their wheels. They don't see the results they want. They don't get that physique. They don't get the confidence they want. And it's this simple phrase: get back on the board. Okay. So many people, they'll kind of have a bad day and that leads into 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, week. Oh shit, it's a month down the line. I'm back to square one. Okay. Everybody has bad days. We are all human. I have bad days. All of our other coaches, Johnny, Eleanor, Danny, they all have bad days. Even the professional bodybuilders on stages and things like that, they all have bad days. But what's the difference is they get back on the board. They don't make the same mistake 2 days in a row. Okay. So get back on the board. Give yourself a dust off. It is what it is. You've done what you've done today. I'm going to have a fucking good day. I'm going to make today be freaking awesome. Don't try and make up for it. Okay, depending on how many calories you may have gone over, maybe you reduce slightly, but don't reduce too much, because we let ourselves get too low on the hunger scale and we're setting ourselves up to then want to go and binge again. So just get back on the board, stay consistent, trust the process, and you will have this shit. I promise you. Okay, like one day isn't going to make you fat. One good day isn't going to make you skinny. It's not going to lose all your body fat. Okay, so it's about consistency over perfection. Okay, it's about us being on it, 100% on it, 80, 90% of the time, rather than 100% on it 50% of the time. Okay. Consistency over perfection. Nail your calories. Try your best to get your protein in. Remember, never go over your calories to get your protein in. Don't worry about how your carbs and fats distribute. Make sure you work out your own custom meal structure. Use the 80-20 principle, and then utilize weekly calorie targets so that you can stay on track and factor things into your lifestyle. Okay. Then the most important, get back on the board. Never make the same mistake 2 days in a row. Okay, guys. I hope this was useful. A little bit of a short one. If you guys like this one, please let me know in the comments below. Please share this to your Instagram story. And if you're kind enough, please leave me a review on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, whatever it might be. I would really, really appreciate it. Leave some comments below if we're watching the YouTube video. And I will see you in the next one. And guys, if you want to work with us one-to-one in your training, nutrition, lifestyle, mindset, habits to get you in the shape of your life this summer, then drop me a DM on Instagram just saying aesthetic strength, and we can have a little bit of chat, see if we're good fit for our coaching program, and we can go from there. Okay. It's no high pressure sales, literally just a conversation to see if you're a good fit, where you are right now, where you want to be, what's missing. We can map out an action plan and we can go from there. Okay, guys, have a freaking awesome day, and I will speak to you soon.